All right, let me try this a half voice. So on the previous example, we found how to find a maximum revenue by saying revenues, price times quantity. We figured out this was the price because we have $24, but I increased the price by $3. And then I would sell 600 units, but I would sell 20 less if I increase it by $3. Then we follow this method. Zeros, axis symmetry, plug it back in. We figure out that the zeros from the two brackets were -8 and then 30, that the axis symmetry was 11. I want you to remember this number, x equals 11. And then when you plug that back in, you got that the price was 57, the quantity was 380, and that the final answer, oh, I'm missing a zero here, a 6 I mean, 21,660, and that's the other number I wanted to remember. So I want to remember this number and that number. So as we know, we can find the vertex by, excuse me, two different ways. So the other way that we can do it is by completing the square. So what would that look like? So if I have the function, I start like this. I cannot complete the square on factored form. I need to expand it into standard form. But first of all, I know that my vertex will be not x and y. I have an x on this side, but on this side I have an r. So when I figure out my r, I'm going to really find out my x and my r, which is actually this, my x and my r, right? That's kind of what I would be finding, not the price, not the revenue. To find the price and the revenue, not the price, not the quantity. I need to plug them back into the equation here and here to figure those numbers out. Okay, so let's go. We don't have that part on top. So if we go ahead, and I'm fast forwarding a little bit, we multiply this through, we gather like terms, and this is where we end up. Minus 60x squared plus 1320 plus blah, blah, blah. So now, my first step of completing the square is I will factor out the minus 60. When I factor out the minus 60, I get that minus 22. Well, I got 60 squares, and I need 22 on each one. So if I got 22 on each one, I'm going to put 11 here, 11 there, and when I multiply them, I got 121. So it's really minus 11 and minus 11. So I'm going to add 121, take away 121. Got it. So I know that these three guys right here will make this x minus 11 squared, because that's this square right here. And the minus 21 multiplied by minus 60 gives us the 7260. And I still need to add the 14,400 that was at the end. When I add it together, guess what? You wouldn't be surprised that I'm missing a squared here. Minus 60, x minus 11 squared plus 21,660. Remember those numbers? Yeah, because the vertex is now positive 11 and 21,660. But what is 11? Oh, that's the x. And what is this one? Oh, that's the r. So I already have the max revenue. The max revenue is 21,660. But I don't have the price. If I want to do the price, I got to go back and say, okay, price was 24 plus 3 times x. So now I need to plug in the 11 here, and that'll be 24 plus 3 times 11. And that, oh, don't forget about that one. And that would be 24 plus 33, and that is 77. Okay. So now I know that at a price of $77, I would have a max revenue of 21,660, which is what we find over here. At the price of $57, I would sell 380, and I would get a maximum revenue of 21,660. Do it in two different ways. I think the only confusing part in this method is that people forget that when you find the vertex, it's x and r, and you still have to do something with x. You haven't found, x is not anything in particular. It's not price, it's not quantity, it's not revenue. You got to plug it back in order to figure out your final answer. Hope that helps a little bit.